Good afternoon, everybody. It is meteorologist Aiden's weather forecast here, and welcome back to another weather update, guys. As you can tell, this is going to be a U.S. forecast. It's actually been quite a long time since we've been doing a U.S. forecast because I've been doing these winter videos, and who will see the snow is fall. And then, of course, we've been talking about Dorian for the past week and a half. So I really haven't had the time to do U.S. forecasts. I've actually had time, but it wasn't the top subject. But now that Dorian is not really a huge threat, really it's going to be a big threat for Nova Scotia. But really, it's not a big threat right now for the United States, really, because it's just going to be bring rain and all that. But we're going to be talking about the possibly U.S. forecast here of a huge heat front to come in through much of the United States. We're actually going to have some very high 90s here in Georgia when we should sit some mid to low 80s. So it's going to be very, very warm. It's going to be incredibly dangerous, and we are starting to see some heat advisories become widespread. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, guys. It really means a lot. And yeah, without further ado, let's get in the video. So we are going to be looking at the National Weather Service right now, so the active alerts right now. So we actually do have some flash flood watches out here for parts of Washington. We do have some possibly flooding threats there with some rain we are having over there, and we do have some lake wind advisories for areas in Montana. Also some more wind advisories out here for the California area. So again, we would see some quite windy conditions for these areas right now. Of course, in the California areas near the Sierra Mountains, we actually are going to be start to seeing some winds pick up out here, and we do actually have excessive heat warnings still in effect for Arizona. Very small area near Phoenix, we do have some excessive heat warnings. And then we do have a lot more heat advisories now. Earlier today we had none, but now we actually have a bit more becoming widespread. So it is looking like we could have another heat front. It looks like the last one was a couple weeks ago. The last major one, we've had a couple in the past week or so, but I mean the last major one. This is like it's going to be almost the whole country can be above average. So it's going to be a very, very big event. From the Texas all the way to the Georgia border, we do have heat advisories. And again, we also do have some flood warnings and advisories for the mid-Atlantic area with Dorian, so bringing in some outer bands in those areas. And we do have flood warnings near the Portland, Maine area, and we do have tropical storm warnings in effect for areas in Maine, but no hurricane warnings, no hurricane watches, no tropical storm watches. All that is gone. But we also do have some high surf advisories out here for the areas of Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Now I'll be looking at the 10-day radar really quickly on the European model, so you guys have a better idea what to expect within the next couple of days. Because again, a lot of you guys want to know if you need to keep plans or if you need to move plans any other day. So again, here we have again bringing a lot of rain for Maine today. Also Massachusetts, Rhode Island. You guys will be seeing the most amount of rain, but near the Portland, Maine areas where we should have the heaviest rain in the U.S. so far today. We are going to be having some severe weather threats out here for the Montana and North Dakota area. And again, we do have those wind advisories, so it's going to be quite windy and rainy. But look, guys, we're actually going to see a mix. We're actually going to see some sleet. I'm not kidding. We're actually going to see some sleet just north of Maine. Really, really crazy, guys. It's so close, and we're going to get some sleet out there. But again, not going to be too bad. But it's really crazy. We're starting to see sleet and snow in Nova Scotia already with the system. And then we'll start to see a bit more rain coming in through parts of the west and the plains. Let me just switch colors. I think the black will be the best color for this. And as we continue on, we should start seeing a bit more rain continuing on until early next week on Tuesday. We will see some big rain showers continuing through parts of the Dakotas and the plains. It's actually going to be pretty dry for the southeast, really. Not a lot of rain. It looks like the northern plains will be seeing the most amount of rain so far. A lot of rain based on average. Multiple systems are bringing a lot of rain day by day for the northern plains. And look, we're going to have even more events for Minnesota and then all the way to the 12th of September. So now we're going to be looking at the 6 to 10 day outlook here. And again, we haven't really looked at these in forever, but they have changed quite a lot. So again, for those people who are wondering what these colors mean, anything from this color to this color is below average. And then anything from this first color right here to this color is above average. My computer is actually about to die, so you guys are going to see this. All right, yeah. So we do have above average temperatures for much of the country, all the way from Massachusetts through Minnesota, all the way into Washington. So coast to coast, really. But the worst heat is going to be right here in the Ohio Valley area in the southeast. This is where we've seen the worst heat to come, and also parts of California, coastal areas, you guys will be seeing some very, very warm conditions too. So it's going to be actually pretty dangerous, though. We're actually see some possibly triple digits in Texas, Louisiana. Very likely, because I'm going to get up to 96, which is way above average. And then where we have the worst conditions is right here. It's actually pretty widespread. It's the fifth color, the fifth shade, which is actually very, very warm. That's about possibly 7 to 8 degrees above average, maybe even more, maybe even 15 degrees above average. So again, all the way from southern Indiana all the way into the Gulf Coast of Mississippi and Alabama is where we'll be seeing incredibly warm temperatures. And again, we still have those other four shades that are bringing above average temperatures for much of the country. So very, very warm conditions. Actually pretty dangerous, though, as September is not usually the warmest month, but it will be very warm. And then we also are seeing below average temperatures out here in Maine. Of course, in Maine, we'll be seeing below average temperatures, as in we are going to have sleet just north of Maine. It's pretty weird. And then we also do have some below average temperatures right here for Montana, Idaho, Utah, and Wyoming. And then we have near average temperatures right here in the gray. So if you guys in the gray, you guys are actually pretty lucky, as we do have incredibly warm temperatures for much of the country right here. And honestly, it's not even really a ridge whatsoever. It's just in general very warm for almost all of the country right here. About maybe 90% of the country right here is above average for the next 6 to 10 days. Now, this is the next 8 to 14 days. Every single part of the United States will be above average. I don't remember the last time every single little area of the United States was be above average. But look at this, guys. Look at this. You can't see a single area that's in white or in the gray. That's incredibly rare to see. We have not a single little place in the United States for the next 8 to 14 days to be average or below average. So the whole United States will be above average, which is actually very incredible, though. And look at the layers. We're going to be all the way to the third layer for almost all of the country. And then we're even going to get to possibly the fifth layer. So we're going to have incredibly warm temperatures. It's actually very crazy. We are going to see, of course, coast to coast either way, from here, down here. Every single area in the coast to coast, you'll be seeing above average. It's very, very weird. And again, we have slightly or more above average temperatures all the way from Maine to California, or Seattle, or Washington, all the way to Texas, all the way to Florida, and then back up. So look, it's like almost the whole country. And then where we have way above average temperatures, very widespread in this fourth layer for much of the East Coast and for the West Coast and even the plains. If you're in this little, this kind of dark red color, we'll be seeing very, very warm temperatures, possibly maybe 8 degrees above average. And then we have the worst of the heat, of course, going to be over me, right when cross-country season is getting really important. We've had 2 races so far, but again, it's going to get really hot. I'm not looking forward to running in this heat, really. Hopefully, maybe they cancel it because it's going to be too hot. But again, guys, if you don't have to go outside, just don't go outside. If you feel like anything, you have to throw up, if you're dizzy, it's really, really safe choice to go and stay inside. So again, we do have some below average temperatures for much of the northeast areas, and we are seeing very, very warm temperatures right here. But we're not going to be focusing within the next couple of days. We're going to be being farther out again. We are going to be seeing some cold air continuing to come on Monday, Tuesday, and even Wednesday. We'll be seeing some cold air on Wednesday again, and then even a little bit cold air from Thursday to Saturday. But look, this is where it gets really, really warm. So here it is, the 15th of September. We're having incredibly warm temperatures for much of the East Coast and also for the plains. Again, we do have the below average area for Montana. Again, this is not the 8 to 14 day outlook, guys. This is more the 6 to 10 day outlook. We're in between the next 6 to 10 days, so this is not going to be where the whole country is above average. And again, it's not going to be every single hour is going to be like that. It's just going to be in general for those 4 days. As we go September 16th, the heat gets a lot worse for all the way from Kansas to possibly the Michigan area. We're going to be seeing possibly 12 degrees above average, and this heat's going to even become even more widespread for much of the East Coast here. We'll have some small areas that are average or below average. Again, the West will be enjoying this cold air as it lasts from now to September 16th. But look, guys, if you're in the West Coast, you're not really going to like what you're going to see. But look at this heat, guys. It's so hot. Like, look at this. We're going to be getting possibly close to 20 degrees above average. Just look at this heat. September 19th. Incredibly warm for Michigan all the way to Maine. Is we're going to be seeing incredibly warm temperatures, guys. It's going to get really, really warm. And look, at this point on September 20th, we're going to have so warm temperatures. Just incredibly warm. Again, look at all the East Coast. Richmond, you guys will be seeing 12 degrees above average. Look at all the United States over here. It's going to be very, very warm. We're about to see possibly cold September, but now we're just not looking like it's going to have one. As we go September 23rd, we start to see a huge cool down in Canada. Like, look at Canada here. It's getting like 16 degrees above average, and then Canada will start to have a cool down, which will bring a little hope for the eastern United States to possibly have some cold air. But if you're in the west United States, you're not going to maybe look forward to any of September except from maybe early September. But again, after this, it's going to get a lot worse. Now we're going to be looking at the European model here, what it shows. And again, we are seeing, again, those cold airs for Maine all the way to Montana. I couldn't say, I was about to say Michigan. We'll be seeing the cold air, and then again, south of that, we'll be seeing very warm air, especially for the Oklahoma area. But as we continue on early next week, the worst of it will go into the southeast, into the Ozarks. This is where we'll be seeing the worst of the heat early this or next week. And then again, we'll be seeing the cold air continue to stay in the northeast tip and the west coast. But again, it's going to take a little matter of time for this become a bit more widespread. So you guys will be enjoying this in the west coast, maybe 5 to 6 degrees below average, maybe even 9 degrees below average. But look at this, 9 degrees above average, possibly reaching 10 degrees above average for much of the United States. And as we continue, look at this, possibly reaching about 12 degrees above average, will be very, very warm for the Minnesota, Michigan area, in Wisconsin, and then we'll be seeing that warmer air really starting to wreck the northeast as September. And then again, we'll have opposite ends of the country, west to east, getting incredibly warm temperatures, guys. So it's a really big threat. We need to wait and see exactly what's to happen. This should be we'll start to see a bit more videos on U.S. forecast now that Dorian is not a huge threat. We still have a couple systems in the Atlantic that could be a threat, but once really, and unless it becomes a huge threat, I won't really post on it right now. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and bye guys.